Hello, and welcome to Ontology Explained. I'm Casey Hart, philosopher and ontologist, and today we're going to do some myth busting. So, in my last video, which I'll link to down in the description, on LPGs, labeled property graphs, I tried to lay out the basics, what they are, how they function, what the proponents say about them. But in the process of doing research for that episode, I came across a couple of claims that I found a little bit dubious. I said as much in that episode, and one of those was that LPGs can handle many-to-many relationships, but OWL RDF cannot. I think this is wrong. In this episode, I want to bust that myth, show you how, in fact, OWL RDF can handle many-to-many relationships. In fact, it handles it just as well as LPGs. Okay, let's start by looking at the claims themselves. I saw those in a number of different places, but we'll just look at two of them. The first you can find on Neo4j's website. I'll include a link down below. This comes from Jim Weber, who's the chief scientist at Neo4j. And in the section, The Advantages of Using a Property Graph, he distinguishes between RDF and LPGs by saying that property graphs easily handle many-to-many relationships or multiple relationships of the same type between the same two nodes. We're not going to talk any in this episode about multiple relationships of the same type between two nodes, although that's a worthwhile discussion. I think the hype on LPGs over RDF is a little too much there as well. But let's take a look at another place where we see this many-to-many criticism, and that's over on Enterprise Knowledge website. This is an article by Ben Cass, and he's got a helpful table on the specific benefits and drawbacks of both RDF and LPGs. And on RDF, he lists as a minus, under the subheading N-ary structures, he says that RDF cannot model many-to-many relationships. Instead, intermediary structures are required, which can increase the verbosity of the graph. Okay, so we've got a couple of places where people claim that OWL RDF can't handle many-to-many relationships, but before we evaluate whether we in fact can do that in OWL RDF, we should figure out what is meant by this and what's the big deal about many-to-many relationships in the first place. And to do that, we should look at three different types of relationships: one-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-many. And we can look here at a diagram for relational database structures. We want to build a schema and see how we could construct different tables and join those tables together to store information. Then we can look here at the top. We've got person, and we might want to relate a person to another person by means of spouse. So imagine a case where maybe you're in a state or some legal jurisdiction where polygamy is illegal. You can only be married to exactly one person. In this case, we can have a one-to-one relationship between a person and their spouse, and vice versa. And this is pretty easy to represent in our tables. We have these person tables. They'll have a primary key, a unique identifier for each person, like a social security number. And then we could just have a field, another column in our table that has spouse. And then we put in that spouse column the social security number of the spouse. For an example of a one-to-many relationship, here we want something where one thing can hold this relationship between multiple different things, but those other things only bear that relationship back to the first thing. So in this case, I have the example of people and their blood type. The blood type is the one side, and the person side is the many side. So many different persons can have type O blood, but any given person can have only one type of blood. In this case, still not that hard to handle. We have two different tables. Those tables can be connected, and you can just have the primary key value for the blood type show up in the person table in some field that's like blood type ID, whatever. The many-to-many case is when we have two types of entities that can bear a relationship to each other in the many-to-many style. A given band has many musicians in it, and a given musician can be in many bands. But now we have a problem if we're doing the sort of traditional relational structure, because if we want our data to be organized properly in first normal form, don't worry too much if that doesn't make sense to you. It's not a big deal. But essentially, if we want all of our values under our fields in our tables to be atomic and have one thing instead of an array of items, if we want to relate a musician to their band, we can't have just a band name or something like that field, because what do you do with someone who's in multiple bands? You can't put multiple values there. You can multiply the rows, but then that's going to cause other problems. And we're going to have that same problem on the band side. We can't have band member as a field because then we might have multiple values there. So the solution is to create an intermediary table, a join table. And this table then can be connected to the foreign keys over in your music ID or your band ID. And each of those rows can stand for a membership, a relationship between a given band and a particular band member, and then you can have one of those relationships for every one of the members in the band, and this solves the problem. In the case of OWLRDF and LPGs, if the claim is that one can handle many-to-many and the other can't, then that's going to be a real advantage for the graph type, the knowledge store type that can handle the many-to-many relationships. With that said, let's go ahead and look at an example in Turtle for representing many-to-many relationships of exactly the type that we've looked at here. For one-to-one, we use the example of marriage. We've got two persons here, Casey Hart and Nicole Hart, and they stand in the married-to relationship to one another. That handles our one-to-one relationship. There's more we could do here. We could further flesh out what it means to be married to. We could define married to as a symmetric relationship. Lots to be said there, but just suffice to say, we create our entities and we draw an edge between them. We can draw the edge in both directions. One-to-many, more complicated logically, right? Because a single thing has a relationship to many things, and those are only have that relationship back to that first thing. But in terms of representing it in OWLRDF, it's not any more complicated than the one-to-one case. So here we have Tom, we have Mary, we have our type O blood as a blood type, and we just connect Tom and Mary both to that type of blood. That's all there is to it. Many-to-many relationships. More complicated? No, not really. There's more entities because I wanted to show many-to-many in this case, but the general mechanics of this are exactly the same. We've got our bands, Fleetwood Mac, Sound City Players, Nirvana, Foo Fighters, and then we've got our band members, Dave Grohl, Stevie Nicks, Bob Welch, and then we just connect those band members to the bands they're in with something like a member of Edge that connects them. Here we have a many-to-many relationship. It's in Turtle formats. It's an OWLRDF graph. Yes, we could flesh out this graph more and provide more semantic content to it, but this is sufficient to show that you can absolutely represent many-to-many relationships in OWLRDF. So I'm going to go ahead and right now declare this myth busted. But let's go ahead and see how it would look in LPGs and then see if there are any take-home messages about how we should think about these things. So what we'll see here for a labeled property graph, and again, I'm using the Arrows app for Neo4j, which I think is a super handy way to represent graphical things, show nodes and edges. Our picture looks exactly the same as you might have imagined from looking at the OWLRDF piece. We create nodes in each case. We draw arrows between them that represent the edges. So we've got Casey and we've got Nicole, and they're connected by married to edges that are going in both directions. For our one-to-many, we have our blood type, type O, and that's connected to both Tom and Mary by this has blood type relationship. And then for our band case, we've got our band members, we've got our bands, and each band member is in the band that they're members of. Super smooth, super easy. It's with good reason that LPGs can say, because we're a graph, it handles many-to-many relationships flawlessly and quickly. The problem here was just the claim that OWLRDF can't handle those things. So what are we to make of this? If we have a myth out there on the internet, I mean, one thing is, look, there's just false stuff on the internet, and we'll do our best to correct them when we see those things. But another lesson from this, I think, is that we should be pretty skeptical when we see a product touting the benefits of its particular application, but poo-pooing the capabilities of another one. If there's something that doesn't quite line up right, is making you scratch your head a little bit, go try and build that with that tool and see if it works or not. You might be surprised. Hey everybody, it's Casey from the future here. When I saw those claims that OWL couldn't handle many-to-many relationships, I sent out a few messages to the authors, and one of them responded to me. So I want to first off say thank you to Jim Weber for his cordial and quick responses. The paraphrase is just that we're correct here, that OWLRDF can handle many-to-many relationships, but he just has different issues with the practicality of OWLRDF. He thinks that inference doesn't work as well as people think, other things like that. legitimate concerns, things that I'll handle in another spot, but just wanted to give a shout out to Jim Weber, and made me feel a little bit less crazy that I wasn't missing something there. I did understand the claim, and it really just doesn't hold water in this particular case. If you go look at the website, Jim has said that he's going to update it at some point in the near future, so you might see that claim is changed there. If that's changed by the time you take a look at it, great, and kudos to them for spotting that and changing it up. Okay, so let's summarize what we found here. First, there was a claim that LRDF can't handle many-to-many relationships. We showed that. It was claimed in at least a couple of different places. Then we looked at what exactly the many-to-many relationships are, what that amounts to, and I demonstrated that you can, in fact, do both one-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-many relationships in LRDF just as well as you can in LPGs. They're graphs, they have nodes and edges, and the beautiful thing with graphs is you can connect those edges in whatever directions that you like. If you've got many-to-many relationships and you're trying to decide some framework to store them in, graphs are great. Go for graphs, especially over more relational databases where you have to have a more complicated table structure. Of course, that's not the only consideration, but don't let many-to-many relationships dissuade you from LRDF. It handles it just fine. Thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.